Good job with the thing, babe.
We are live.
All right, let's get this show on the road. This week on the Media Virus Podcast, Ohio Dad's drunken driving lesson hits rock bottom, and the pavement, and the asphalt, and the pole. Speaking of poles, a corpse fell out of a hearse in Poland, and traffic went stiff. Busted for soul searching. Greek man arrested for sneaking sniffs of neighbors' sneakers. And we're gonna play Guess Who Won the Machete Fight. It's the Media Virus Podcast. Let's point and laugh at the world burning around us with executive producer Mike Latoris. We're going to start over. BBC correspondent Stanley McFadden.
Makes me tingly in an unfamiliar way.
Grease Monkey Pete.
Damn, Big Daddy.
Here's the thing about the Media Virus Podcast. It's really well done.
And now, spreading the sage nihilism of an aged Gen Xer, your host and mine, the star of our show, the incomparable Maddie Rockdeath.
Damn, do we have a show for you people this week. I'm Maddie Rockdeath. And probably the rock deafiest of all the rock deaths, and proof positive that anyone can have a podcast. Speaking of, welcome to the Media Virus Podcast. Please like, subscribe, follow, share, tell your friends, tell your neighbors, scream it out a window, write on a sheet, hang it over a bridge. I want to take a minute and thank the new subscribers for their support, whether it is on TuneIn, YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or if you are just checking us out on the MediaVirus.com, thank you. We're having a little issue with on-air phone calls, but if you call, you can leave a message, and we can check that message, and then we'll play it, and you can make it on the show. It's just how we do. Yeah, it's just how it rolls.
Yeah.
Mike and I had the opportunity to work with an independent video crew.
We did.
We don't want to divulge too much information, but
is that why Mike has a mustache?
Yes, Mike played it. We can give some information. Mike played a cop.
Oh, you fucking cop.
Yeah. And I played a biker. So
Oh, you like to ride bikes?
Yeah. Were you fucking bike rider?
Oh, you ride bikes with your friends.
You and all your friends riding
Real
bikes.
cute.
Look at you.
With your
Look
cop
at you.
friend.
So, we got some coin in our pocket. And I wanted to do a studio upgrade. I wanted to, we have problems going. I have problems going on. I want to fix them. I want this show to be as good as it can be. And let me put it this way. What I bought, I thought was an audio interface. However, it's not. And it's kind of my fault. The ad said USB interface, so I assumed. But and it was an Amazon suggestion from another piece that I was looking at. And now I'm second guessing whether that one was actually had an audio sound card.
Oh, goodness. Because
this one was only like $4 more than the other one. And Michael backed me up on this.
Okay.
This one has volume slides.
So profesh.
It's so much like having volume slides compared to volume knobs.
Yeah, I definitely prefer slides.
You know what I mean?
I've worked with both, and I can work with both, but I prefer slides all day long.
Yeah, just it's so much easier. You have so much more control. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So it's not a USB interface. So what I had to do is I had to run it from the output. Well, let me put it this way. That was only the cherry on top of the frustration cake that was this fiasco. because I ordered on Saturday and I decided to use my dad's Prime for free shipping and early, quick.
They are so close to Amazon that they get stuff like that same day.
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
So
which Amazon are they close to?
how the fuck do we know, Pete?
Somewhere in Burlington County.
Okay. I only ask because I've been on that property.
And so, I got, and the first mistake I made was I accidentally used my dad's card because I made it too quick.
Right.
But with that one, I actually did change the address. The second one where I used our card, and it's great because you can actually just have Amazon take a picture of your credit card.
Yeah.
And it takes a picture of your credit card.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's not always accurate.
No.
Yeah.
So
Shadows might play a game with you.
So I get to my parents' house. It was supposed to arrive yesterday. I get to my parents' house yesterday, and the Wi-Fi is not working for any of for my iDevice, for my iPhone, for their iPad, and I got to check. I got to check Walmart, or Amazon, see when they're coming.
Right.
On their device.
On their device, because I don't have access to their account.
Yeah.
So, and then once the TV stopped working, my mom started yelling.
Right.
TV
as happens. Yeah.
Right. I had gone in there 3 or 4 times because originally it said, what it told me was I had the wrong password. And and I was like, did you change the password? And she's like, no, I didn't change the password. And she's, so I had 3 or 4 conversations with her that these 2 devices were having problems with their internet. Then my mother starts yelling. Then she tries to blame me.
What did
then
you do?
Then I said, I've only been working on this iPad. She's like, well, that apparently was enough. And I snapped.
3 of the most tech savvy people in one room.
I snapped because I'm like, there is absolutely no fucking way that me working on this iPad did a goddamn fucking thing to that router. So you do not attempt to fucking blame this on me.
You can tell you're white by the way you're yelling at your mom.
Yeah.
That and all the teeth in his mouth.
Okay.
You think I have, dude? My mom punches, but she don't have much ass on. That's the thing, She knows how to strike, but it ain't much. But I really,
did you cycle the power on the router and get everything back online?
Well, she did. She wouldn't let me. She wouldn't let me near it.
Matthew, go away. Go.
No.
Go away. You cannot touch it.
No. See, here's the thing: is I don't stand up until they're out of the way.
I'm not wasting energy here.
I'm not yet. Get out of the way, and I'll do it. Get out of the way, and I'll do it. That's me the whole time. Get out of the way, and I'll do it. Get out of the way, and I'll do it. Get out of the way, and I'll do it. Get out of the way, and I'll do it. Is basically the point that I'm, and
ding dong.
Between that and everything. See, but here's the thing: if I did try to do it, if I was there doing it, I would have to deal with my father right behind me, watching me, so close to me that there is a chance he's going to run into me and knock me over because he's in a motorized wheelchair.
Yeah.
And God forbid I need to turn around and get a tool.
God forbid.
You know what I mean? So
Station 47. We've got a rescue. Got a man trapped under an electric wheelchair.
Yeah, pretty much. But me and my brother were having this conversation that, we would both let my father drive without any reservation. We'd ride in the car with him.
Okay.
Without any reservations. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Now, mind you, in that chair, he hits everything. You know what I mean?
Oh, a door frame.
Yeah.
But I mean, to be fair, he's
okay.
in his 90s and he's
Mhm.
trying to get and someone has presented him with a joystick to control his chair.
Right.
This is not technology that he has a whole lot of prior experience with.
Well, no, yeah. I'll
mean,
give you that.
I could be way off base. Your dad may have been a Pac-Man fiend, but I'm guessing not.
No. My father thought video games rotted your brain. So,
And then
Back in my day.
and then they gave him a video game to drive around the house.
Okay.
yeah. But we would both get in the car with him. But I think it would be smarter. All right, what's smarter, to get in the car with my dad driving, or to get in the car, stay out of the car and teach a 9-year-old how to drive?
Oh, goodness.
You know, there's about a 50-50 there, I'm betting.
I mean, right.
Anybody got a time on that? How long that took to get there?
What a ride.
What a ride.
It's called a monologue.
It'll say it on the thing.
I enjoyed every painstaking minute of it.
Painstaking?
Ear splitting.
All right. Well,
I'm
Mike's
just kidding.
got more on the story, so we're gonna hear.
Father gets taught a lesson in Ohio. Well, folks, this story is about as twisted as a steering wheel in reverse. Buckle up. This is Mike Latoris, your Reverend Professor, coming to you live on TMVP with news that'll have you gripping the wheel tighter than a drunk dad at a driving lesson. In Toledo, Ohio, a father decided that the perfect time to teach his 9-year-old son how to drive was while he was 3 sheets to the wind. Now, I've had some wild ideas when I've been under the spirit, but this takes the cake. Claywan Williams, and that's I'm guessing on that pronunciation. You didn't give me any phonetics, but Claywan.
No, but something tells me it's Cleavon. That's how I always read it.
Okay, Clejon Williams thought it'd be a good idea to let his kid take the wheel. Only things went in reverse faster than my first marriage. Before anyone knew it, the kid pressed the gas, the car backed up, and the dad went from giving instructions to eating asphalt in 0.2 seconds.
Eating asphalt. Sorry.
Now, I can't say much. I once tried to teach my nephew how to play football after a few too many communion wines. Let's just say he tackled me, and the paramedics learned a lot about my bad knee that day. But back to the story. This poor guy was standing in the driver's side door jamb, probably thinking he was about to impart some great wisdom. Left is the brake, right is the gas, classic stuff. Instead, his son slammed on the gas, and the next thing you know, old dad was being dragged under the car like a bad memory from last year's Christmas party. Not only did the car take out a pole, but this guy went for the ride of his life. Luckily, Toledo Fire and Rescue got him to the hospital. No word on how he's doing, but I'm willing to bet that wasn't the lesson plan for the day. But it didn't end there. Oh no, because after this joyride from hell, Clayjon was arrested and charged with child endangerment. Turns out
you can't teach 9-year-olds how to drive anymore.
Turns out there were not 1 but 3 kids involved. 1 in the back seat and 1 standing outside like, "Hey, can I have a turn next?"
You guys want to watch it?
I've seen some questionable parenting in my time, but this one is in a league of its own. Yeah, let's have a look.
You guys want to? All right. Can you guys see okay? I'm trying to figure out a best way to do this. All right. You guys see it?
Yeah.
All right. So what you're looking at, can you see my mouse?
Uh-huh.
You're looking over here. You're looking across the street.
Okay.
Okay. So I think this is dad.
Okay.
This is either dad or another kid. And this is either dad.
Can
or
you
another
put the little full screen thingy down there at the bottom?
Is there a full thing? All right, that helped.
Okay. Okay, here we go. We're
Dad was standing in the driveway. Here he goes. Ooh, man, that hurt.
Yeah, poles are hard, man.
Was he?
Yeah.
Oh,
dude.
yeah. He was between the
That was
pole
the
and the door.
driveway and the street.
Damn.
You didn't watch
I
it.
watched it.
You're not going to comment?
That's crazy, dog.
Yep.
Wow.
I went through a whole bunch of shit so you could say that. All right.
This whole situation reminds me of the time I thought I could teach my neighbor's dog to fetch while riding my bicycle. Let's just say it didn't end well for me, my bike, or the bushes. I'm still picking twigs out of my hair from that fiasco. So if you're thinking of mixing alcohol and life lessons, let this be your cautionary tale. Take it from me, Mike Latoris. Stick to teaching your kids how to parallel park sober and leave the stunt driving to Fast and Furious. Until next time, folks, this is TMVP, where we report the news you can't make up and where life always seems to be in reverse. Stay safe, stay sober, and please leave the teaching to the professionals.
I love how when AI thinks that you are a terrible preacher. Like you're a man of God that drinks too much communion wine, tries to teach kids to drive. God only knows what else you'd be doing. We'll see what AI has to say next. But
excuse me, I feel like that's a hint.
now my brother, because my siblings are all much older than me, so my brother would put me on his lap and let me steer. I think that's kind of the place to start your kids, teaching your kids to drive.
Yep.
When they're the toddlers, you put them on your lap and you let them drive.
That's literally crazy.
That's how you teach a kid to drive.
That's how I learned to steer.
That's how we all learn. Pete, how'd you learn to drive? Your first driving lesson, wasn't it on somebody's lap?
Nope.
And they probably had a beer in the cup holder.
No, I probably learned how to drive from riding riding lawnmower around the yard.
Oh yeah, that was a good one.
That was when I was younger. That was like a joy in life every week, getting to ride the lawnmower and mow the lawn.
Yeah.
Until you hit like your teens, when it's the last thing you want to. You realize it's the last thing you want to do every week.
Fuck this.
Right. Yeah. You realize it's the last thing you want to do is ride the lawnmower, But yeah, now I extensively rode lawnmowers, any sort of pedal car, go-kart. Those were my, like building blocks to driving. So much so that when I started driving, my mom said, your dad, he's not going to teach you how to drive. I'm going to teach you how to drive. I was like, okay. Or and really it was, she just had to be there. Like when you had your permit. My mom, after a few, like I got in the car and drove, and my mom stopped and said, you act like you've been driving for years. Like you drive like you've been driving for years. Like it's kind of impressive. I was like, oh, thanks, Mom. Like I scared her still, but she was like, but you still, you have all the basic things down. Like I said, because
You have any other stories of how you peaked in high school?
Ooh.
Damn.
I'm sorry, Pete.
Damn.
It's okay. It's all right.
It was funny. You got to admit, it was as hard as it is. And I mean, it's coming from a dude that hasn't peaked ever. I peeked at Bob's Discount Furniture.
You met me?
Yep. That's where my life peaked, and that's it.
Wait, are you going downhill from when we met?
No, I'm not. I'm trying not. But you're
You're trying to maintain.
I don't know. Stop.
He's riding a plateau.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I guess. What else?
We were talking about driving, and I was trying to figure out because there was a fuck. Can you imagine just driving down the street and fucking dead guy just rolls out of
That's crazy.
a hearse?
That's like Final Destination shit. No.
Yeah, it happens though.
Yeah.
It does.
It happened in Poland.
Of course it did.
A corpse takes an unexpected detour. Good evening, folks. This is your favorite Reverend Professor Mike Latoris here with another drop-dead story that really brings new meaning to falling head over heels in traffic. It seems a funeral.
What was the old meaning of falling head over? I'd never heard that ever. He's like, you're asking me. You provided the copy, asshole. I can see this.
I just read the shit.
All right.
But head over heels. When you fall with a big tumble.
I got you.
It seems a funeral home in Poland is doing a bit of damage control after a body took an unexpected exit right out of the hearse, landing smack dab on a pedestrian crossing. Now, I don't know about you, but if I saw a sheet slide off of my windshield only to find a body on the road, I'd be more rattled than I was when my ex-wife accidentally texted me her grocery list from her new boyfriend's phone.
Speaking of ex-wives and bodies in the road.
What?
Speaking of ex-wives and bodies in the road. Do you guys remember when The Sixth Sense came out?
Sure.
How like fucked that movie fucked with me.
I see dead people.
And there's this joke that Bruce Willis's wife never said a word to him through the entire film, and everybody was just like, "Yeah, that tracks."
Yeah,
like he was mad about something. But I went to go see with, my ex-wife.
Oh, what a fun story!
And as we're driving back to the house,
right?
She goes and she says something, and I thought she said, "There's a collie in the road."
Right.
And I was like, "Well, if there's a collie in the road, let's go back and get it." And then she goes, "No, there was a body in the road on Mount Holly Avenue." And I'm like, fuck. So we turn around.
What a calm conversation for someone to say that.
What?
Yeah,
Well,
I mean,
no, she was not calm. She's like, no, it was all frantic.
Oh, well, that's the usual conversation with her.
Yes, but it was all frantic. However, those were the words exchanged. Anyway, right. So we go back, and like the car in front of us saw this girl jump the fuck out of the car in front of them.
Oh.
They narrowly swerved, which caused her to narrowly. She was driving because we weren't married at the time. Right. I didn't have my driver's license. So she's, swerved around. We went back, and the hospital came and picked her up. She was alive.
Huh.
She came to a little bit.
So you had a spoopy time when you were watching Sixth Sense?
Yeah, and this is after watching Sixth Sense. That's the fucked up part. You come home, you're already, we saw The Late Show. It's October or some shit. It's cold out. It was raining, like that misty, like it's like the picture that we're looking at the moment. It's that type of weather.
Yeah.
And it just stood stuck in my head. And since we're talking about my brother's watching and talking shit about mom, you better watch your ass. Well, I can attest to the fact that she has never watched this show. She No, she can't get past all my curse words.
Yeah, so she has watched.
She has watched it for. I mean, I open up.
Yeah.
I come out of the gate cursing. So,
anyways, what else is happening in Poland?
nothing is happening in Poland, but you know what's going on in Greece?
They're
I was about to tell her, according to Polish media.
Oh.
According to Polish media, the corpse just tumbled out like someone who decided to check out of this world one more time.
Oh.
Haiti's funeral services blamed a technical failure for the incident. Now, I'm no expert in logistics, but you'd think a company named after the Greek god of the underworld would have the whole keeping the dead in place thing down pat.
I feel like ratchet straps work really well.
Right?
Like, you don't have to put a whole lot of work into ratchet straps, man.
No, there's one very important piece of work you have to when using ratchet straps. When you're all done, you have to flick them and go, that's not going anywhere. If you didn't do that, just bing,
that's
that's not going anywhere.
He didn't shake it and say that's not going.
That's
or how do you say it in Polish?
Didn't do that. Yeah, you're screwed.
I must say, this reminds me of the time I tried to lock up the church van after a particularly rowdy Saturday night bingo. Let's just say those doors weren't the only thing swinging.
Hey-yo!
But back to the story. Haiti's Funeral Services has issued a heartfelt apology to the public, which is more than I can say for my plumber after that disastrous snake incident last winter. They've assured everyone this little mishap doesn't reflect their standards or their empathy for grieving families, though one might wonder if that empathy included seatbelts for the dearly departed. Well, folks, I guess you could say that body was dying to get out of there. Until next time, this is Mike Latour signing off, where the news is always grave, but the jokes are eternal. Stay safe out there, especially if you're driving near a hearse.
I just feel like if this was in America, the way that the family would be suing this company.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, if this happened, I mean, I think this would have been the news cycle for at least 3 days.
100%.
And then we'd have
nationwide.
We have updates on the corpse that flew out of that flew and struck a pedestrian.
But 95. Everything would be so specific. They would cover it, and these people would sue, and there would be so much money. And then in Greece, they're just like, oh, shit. That's crazy, dog.
That's not Greece. That's Poland. In Greece, what good?
I was going to say there is actually like a charge of abuse of a corpse that would have, I guess, fit here. Like
you would know that.
No, yeah, he had to go to court a couple years ago.
No, I did not.
Well,
I watch a lot of Law and Order and a lot of CSI and you name it.
Sure.
Nobody ever talks about the guy that used to live with Marshall.
Okay.
But in Greece, we had a shoe sniffer in Greece. He was sentenced for soul searching. Good day, TMVP listeners. It's your Reverend Professor Mike Latour bringing you the news you didn't know you needed, fresh off the press like a pair of loafers on a summer day. Today's story is one that really gets a foot in the door of weirdness. And trust me, I've had my share of awkward moments, but nothing quite like this. A man in northern Greece has been sentenced to a month in the shoebox, or rather a suspended prison sentence, after repeatedly sneaking into his neighbor's yards, not to steal, mind you, but to smell their shoes. Yes, folks, you heard that right. He wasn't there to cause trouble, just to breathe in the leather. Apparently, nothing says good morning like a fresh whiff of someone's Nike Airs. Now, I'll admit this reminds me of the time I got caught sniffing around my ex-wife's closet. But that's only because she hid the keys to the liquor cabinet in her boots. Can't say the divorce papers weren't a surprise after that one. The man, age 28, told the court he couldn't explain his actions, which is pretty much what I said when I accidentally left the church candles burning for a little too long one Sunday. The fire department was not impressed, and neither was the congregation. In his defense, this guy wasn't aggressive. No shujitsu here, just a bit overly enthusiastic.
Jiu-jitsu.
Neighbors testified that despite his odoriferous visits, he never caused harm. He was simply having some soul-searching moments in the dead of the night. This shoe sniffer was arrested just before dawn, caught in the act like a cat burglar with a passion for Payless. Imagine waking up to find a guy in your yard, nose deep in your sneakers. I can't tell if I'd be horrified or flattered. In my case, it would be more likely they'd pass out. My gym shoes are legendary for a reason. Neighbors reported at least 3 other sniffer.
See?
Snifferous? Neighbors reported at least 3 other snifferous over the past few months, and I guess they'd finally had enough when the guy took a deep inhale of their outdoor kicks. The court, in its solemn wisdom, has ordered him to therapy. Well, you know what they say. When the shoe fits, therapy.
Dude, it's Sniffaris.
Sniffaris. Okay.
Neighbors report at least 3 other Sniffaris over the past few months.
Okay. Sniffaris. I'm sorry.
That's fantastic. It took me a minute to get to it. Sorry.
It's okay.
Sorry.
Sniffaris. So, folks, next time you leave your shoes outside, make sure they're not too appealing, or you might find yourself with an unexpected guest taking a midnight sniffari through your soles. Until next time, this is Mike Latoris, where the news might be funky, but it's always a step ahead of the game. Keep your shoes and your secrets well guarded.
Fantastic.
That's weird.
Dude, on my way home last night from visiting my parents, I stopped to see my grandchildren and, their parents, my son and his wife. And Isla wanted to play with me so bad. Like, I'm trying to talk to Matt. She's like, Papa, want to play with me? And we're trying, I'm trying to play with her and talk to Matt at the same time. But at some point, she drags me. Let me tell you how small this Cracker Jack box of a house is. This Philadelphia row home, that is the smallest Philadelphia row home you have ever seen. This child has 2 entire rooms, 1 bedroom full of her toys, and then what used to be a dining room full of her toys.
Wow.
So she has a full-on kitchen. She wants to play food. So she was like, come on, sit down. And I'm like, oh, I got nowhere to sit, baby. She's like, sit on the floor. And so I can't sit in what they call crisscross applesauce.
Yeah.
We know it as Indian style.
Right.
Cross your legs. I am. I would go colonize. Give me something to colonize. I will colonize it. So I'm laying in a prone position and playing, with her.
Right.
And her foot is right, basically by my face.
Yeah.
And the smell off of this 3-year-old child's foot,
this angel,
could gag a maggot. This was.
Ew.
The first thing I did, because there's no way this could be my beautiful grandchild.
Right.
There's no way this odor, this fully developed foot odor, is coming off of this 3-year-old child. There's no way.
NBA game foot.
I'm looking around for shoes. You think I'm looking around for Alicia's shoes? No. I'm looking around for Matt's shoes. Because I know the smell of Matt's feet. And that's it. You know what I mean? Because Matt's feet are fucking funky. You remember Matt's feet?
So Matt gave Isla his whole face
and his feet
and his sticky feet.
But it was no, dude. It was I could not believe that the smell was coming off of that child's cute little socks.
Wow.
But it was unfucking bearable.
Right, mate.
Dude,
you're right.
If I had, well, no, I'm not. I can't cut my granddaughter's feet off with a machete.
No, that would probably be bad.
But
you're referring to the machete mayhem in a pub.
Yeah, the next story is about a machete fight. So,
good evening, folks. This is your Reverend Professor Mike Latours bringing you the sharpest news in town. And tonight's tale is cutting edge, literally. We're headed to the lovely little land of Scunthorpe, where two blokes decided to trade pints for pointy objects in a pub. So grab your seats and your safety gear. You'll need it for this one. In a tale of ferocious frustration and furious fighting, Cameron Riley and Daniel Woodley, two foolhardy fellows, found themselves in a bar brawl that escalated into something straight out of an action movie.
Hey, Pete.
Yeah.
Pete, I did something that I hope you might enjoy. I know you enjoy puns. And I've been using the same prompt for ChatGPT. But for this one, I added, and I think it's going to stay there. Use as much alliteration as possible. So,
good luck.
I am.
Change the slide.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, I can't change the slide because that's the contest. I fucked up.
One minute they were enjoying some drinks, and the next, Riley whipped out a mini machete from his waistband. Because nothing says good night out like having a small sword strapped to your side, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
He slashed Woodley's arm and then chased him into the busy street, which, by the way, is not the best place to take a jog when you're wielding a weapon. Now, I've had my share of fights, usually with furniture, after a few too many, but at least my couch wasn't armed to the teeth, like these guys. Woodley, bleeding but brave, managed to limp his way off, only to later run into Riley at a different pub. Because why not keep the chaos going, right? Woodley responded by attacking him again, which turned into another round of machete madness in the beer garden. Honestly, I once got into a fight with my neighbor over a lawnmower, but even I didn't think to bring out a blade. Though I did throw a mean punch with a garden hose. In the end, both of these numbskulls were nabbed by the police in the pub garden, right where the chaos culminated. You know it's a bad night when the bartender has to call the cops because there's more slicing going on outside than at the local deli. Now, both these men of no fixed abode, which is apparently a fancy way of saying they have nowhere to go, were sentenced to 10 months behind bars. That's right, folks, 10 months to think about whether a machete is really the best bar buddy. I think I'd rather...
Not for nothing, 10 months, I might go attack somebody with a machete.
Yeah.
That's not that bad,
10 months in a divorce.
You divorce me if I attack somebody with a machete?
Yeah.
Why?
Because it's a violence. For what?
Because it's only 10 months. I feel like I've always wanted to attack somebody with a machete, and now I can.
Well, you've always wanted to be divorced twice, too.
No, I haven't. I have not wanted that.
I don't know.
Well, Matt, there's a moral to this machete melodrama.
Oh, is there?
Next time you're out at the pub, leave the blades at home. Maybe stick to darts. Less deadly, more dignified. And if you ever find yourself in a fight, make sure the only thing getting slashed is the price of happy hour. Now stick around because up next, it's time for everyone's favorite game. Guess who won the machete fight? Here's a hint. The real winner is no one, unless you count the bandages as a consolation prize. This is Mike Latours signing off with TMVP, where we give you news so sharp it cuts straight to the point.
All right, guys. So this is the game we're playing. I want you to leave it in the comments. We're playing who won the machete fight. And you just put left or right. The guy on the left or the guy on the right. Okay? Who won the machete fight?
The guy on the left.
The guy on the left? What makes you think he won the machete fight?
Unscathed.
Completely unscathed. Where this human being took a lot of hits with a machete. And he still has a defiant look on his face.
Okay, he still looks like a motherfucker.
He's gonna, dude, shit's gonna go down when he gets out.
Yeah,
his machete scars. What? Go where?
The next one.
That was it.
Oh.
Who won the machete fight?
I thought there was going to be a bunch of them.
No, just those guys.
It's the only machete fight I could find. Unless anybody up for a machete fight, you know?
Or if anybody has any after pictures from their last machete fight, maybe send those in.
Yeah, if you've got pictures from your last machete fight, send them over to it's media.virus.poll for your machete fight footage. If you got footage of your machete fight.
Why are you saying machete? It's machete, not machete.
It's a French word. It's machete.
No, it's
machete. I think it is.
I'm pretty sure it's a Latin word, and it's machete.
It's machete, as the French say. So
wasn't there a bad movie with what's his name? The name of the movie was Machete.
Danny Trejo. It's not bad.
Yeah, Danny Trejo. Yeah, Danny Trejo.
That came from that was a trailer in a movie. Like it wasn't an actual trailer. It was like a trailer in a movie.
Okay.
And, originally, which is a fantastic premise. Like,
and then somebody took it and ran with it.
You guys know how much I love the meta. Everybody starts getting meta. I go ape shit for the meta.
And somebody decided to pick it up and run with it, and actually make a movie out of it.
Yeah. Danny Rodriguez.
I only know that movie because it's got some cool like post-apocalyptic El Camino in it that they like. It's got like armor and whatever, and I guess it's like for drug running or something.
Yeah. Well,
But please stop
Bedtime
murdering the word machete.
All right. Well, while we argue over the pronunciation of machete, Mike is going to tell us who sponsors the top 3 teas and the top 3 news, and he's got some shit to tell us.
Yeah, the top 3 news has been brought to you tonight by 302-46-VOICE. If you want my voice on your project, dial 302-46-VOICE. My Sports Art Shop, check them out on redbubble.com and mysportsreports.com. The Stepmoms Without Children podcast and the Disruptive Minds podcast are also sponsors of the show. Also, you can see me in The Boog. It's a film that's out by Red Cup Films. It's available on Blu-ray these days. And up next on TMVP, it's time for our B block, where we're going to find out what Big Daddy has to ask us this week. Then, bizarre meets bathroom breaks, and raccoons run rampant. Folks, this block is to die for. Well, dive in to some of the most ironic exit. We'll dive into some of the most ironic exits in history. People who really took Fatal Flaw to a whole new level. Plus, we'll unpack the bathroom break drama in Switzerland. Let's just say those Swiss are flush with controversy. Oh, and speaking of bathroom breaks, I've got to make one myself. Yeah, it's one of those personal situations where even I have to clock out. Don't worry, I'll try to keep things streamlined so I'm back in time for those crazy raccoon capers. After all, we can't have our audience holding it in, whether it's laughter or anything else. Stay tuned or I'll haunt you like an ironic death.
What on earth?
I'm not saying that I masturbated to serial killer documentaries, just that it was on.